Hi, I'm Rick McDowell. I've been with Artur Express for 5.5 years. I was a driver for 5.5 years. Total driving times, almost 35 years, but been a truck driver over half my life.
And I'm Terry Stevenson. I've worked here around 7 years. I've drove a truck most of my life, actually. I have over 40 years experience in truck driving, but I've drove several different kinds of trucks.
My name is Lisa. I've been a driver for about 7 years, and I've been with Artur Express for 5 years now.
I'm Sadie Church. I'm the Vice President of Driver Relations here at Artur Express. When COVID first started, I was actually with a different company. I was with CDL Life. CDL Life is a large community of truck drivers.
To me, the wisest decision that they made was not to shut the truck stops down. We did get limited access to different places. And as time went on, they would actually have employees either fill your cup or make sure that you were served items that normally you could have got yourself.
As soon as they announced that it was definitely a pandemic, our whole world shut down out there. I do a lot of cooking on my truck, but you couldn't get food. You couldn't get showers. Everything just completely shut down. We stay in hotels. A lot of the hotels that we stayed in were shut down, and if you did, all the amenities that they had were gone.
A lot of places had even built cages where we were confined to so that we could not go out anywhere else in the plant. Several truck stops, ones that I'm familiar with, actually closed their restaurants. And they were still offering food, but again, it was on a limited basis. Everything was wrapped, and we were really not allowed to go in and actually sit down and eat somewhere like we had before. So it made life on the road a lot more difficult than it had been in the past.
I had remembered early on because CDL Life had reported on it, but Pennsylvania immediately had a knee-jerk reaction and drivers immediately suffered. They shut down every single rest area in Pennsylvania, and they put barriers where trucks couldn't pull into the rest areas because they didn't want drivers congregating in the rest areas. So it's such a knee-jerk reaction, right? So there's already this parking shortage, especially in the Northeast, and then you take out rest areas and you make a bigger problem, right?
A lot of the stuff that we run is the cleaning supplies, things like that. Water, a lot of water. It was just really hard because without the trucks running, nothing would have happened,
Not many of us have ever lived through a time like that. So it was interesting for me to see people's compassion. It took a little while, but over time, people started to be much more compassionate about your needs.
I knew we had an obligation to give back to the community that supported us. I just wanted to be able to help. So out for a run one day, and an idea just comes to me. I'm like, what if we delivered meals to truck drivers? So I reached out to a former truck driver I had previously worked with, Brittany Richardson, and was just basically like, hey, can I ride in your truck for a couple weeks and we can deliver meals to truck drivers? And she was immediately on board. And so we got this sponsorship, we worked out this plan, we got a reefer trailer donated to us to use for a couple weeks, and we hit the road. We worked our way from Kansas City to Pennsylvania. We literally stopped at every truck stop, rest area, anywhere we could find drivers, and we handed out as many meals as they could put in their refrigerators, as many meals as they could take. So we ended up spending 2 full weeks out on the road, delivering, I believe we delivered 2,000 meals. By the second trip out, I started noticing more and more that more people were realizing all that drivers are doing and realizing that truck drivers are essential. And on that second trip, we start seeing brown bag lunches being handed out at way stations. We go under an overpass and there's a big sign that says truckers pull off next exit, and they were giving out bags of Chick-fil-A.
I had hauled a load of the Clorox sanitizing wipes and hand sanitizer, and we were lucky enough that where we were delivering at, that they gave them to us, because that was stuff that you needed. Couldn't find it anywhere.
One particular place in Texas where I went provided nice little brown bags of maybe a couple bottles of water. There were candy bars, there were snacks and various things like that that they provided for us, because they had that understanding that the truck stops was limited as to what we could get.
A lot of the restaurants put their phone number on the building or on the window where you could pull in a parking lot, an adjacent parking lot, call that number and order your stuff. And a lot of times they would set it outside and you'd go get it, but there was also times, people brought it right to your truck. I've never been in the military, but for the first time in my life, I had an idea what it must be like to be focused on something bigger than yourself. You're focused on trying to provide for other people.
I think the thing that I learned that I've always believed about our country is that we pull together when we need to.
I think things are slowly getting back to where they were. I'm hoping so anyways, We're pretty much out of the clear, but I also think that everyone still needs to pay attention.
I have to say, for me, I think I felt from the general public, or at least people that I talked with, there was a sense of respect. It's probably, for me, one of the most rewarding times that I've been involved in the trucking industry. Nobody really had to say thank you or whatever, because I just felt, when you did get a break, when you got some time to go home, I really felt a sense of satisfaction in what we were doing.
Sadly, I think it was recognized for a little bit, and then we just once life went back to normal, we all just went back to normal. And I think that people forgot how essential truck drivers are quickly.
The people that needed to step up and do the work that needed to be done to keep things relatively normal for everybody did that. We never even questioned whether we were going to keep going. We just did it.
Trucking's always been a hard job. Often it's a thankless job. Please know that there is still a portion of us who truly appreciates all that drivers do.
Truck drivers are servants every day. It's what we do. We haul freight, for the general public. But I felt like more during that time that I was really serving our country, really serving the people of our country, and that's a good feeling.